Hey everyone, welcome to Quick Reads Unpacked, where I dive into books that spark ideas and share them like we're chatting over coffee. I'm your host, Alex, and today I've got something really practical on my mind. It's The $100 Startup by Chris Guillebeau. This book is all about turning your passions into businesses without needing a ton of money or a fancy degree. I just finished flipping through it, and honestly, it's got me thinking about all those side hustles I've been mulling over. Let's jump in and unpack the big stuff. I'll keep it straightforward, like I'm telling you the highlights from my notes. So, right from the start, the book kicks off with this core idea. Freedom and value are the two things that drive successful small businesses. Freedom means you get to call the shots on your time and location. Value is about solving real problems for people who are willing to pay. That's interesting because it flips the usual script. Most folks think business is about big risks or endless planning. But here, it's simpler. You start with what you love and what helps others. Guillebeau backs this up with stories from real people. Take Sarah Blakely, for example. She invented Spanx with just $5,000. She was selling fax machines door to door and got frustrated with her hosiery. So she cut the feet off her pantyhose one day. That sparked it. She pitched the idea to manufacturers, faced rejection after rejection, but kept going. Now Spanx is a billion-dollar company. What strikes me about this is how she turned an everyday annoyance into something huge. No venture capital, no business school, just persistence and spotting a need. And that's the pattern you see throughout. The book profiles dozens of these micro businesses. They're run by folks from all walks of life. Some are teachers, others artists or even retirees. The common thread? They all started small, often under $100. One guy, for instance, is a mobile DJ who charges $50 an hour to play records at parties. He loves vinyl, and people pay for the nostalgia. Another is a woman who bakes dog treats from her kitchen. She noticed her own pup going crazy for certain ingredients, so she started selling them online. Her costs? Flour, peanut butter, a few bucks for packaging. Now she pulls in steady income part-time. These aren't get-rich-quick schemes. They're about sustainable freedom. You work when you want, from wherever. But to make it work, you have to deliver real value. If your product or service doesn't help someone, it won't last. Now, let's talk about the 1,000 true fans concept. This idea comes up early and sticks with you. It's not about millions of customers. You just need about 1,000 people who love what you do enough to buy from you regularly. Think about it. If each fan spends $100 a year on your stuff, that's $100,000 in revenue. Minus some costs, you're looking at a solid living. Guillebeau draws from Kevin Kelly, who wrote about this, and he shows how it plays out. A photographer in Portland built her business around 1,000 fans who buy her prints and workshops. She travels light, shoots what inspires her, and skips the corporate gigs. That's freedom in action. What caught my attention here is how accessible it feels. You don't need to go viral or chase trends, just connect deeply with a small group. Build trust, deliver consistently, and they'll spread the word. Shifting gears a bit, the book dives into the practical side. How do you actually launch? First, define your passion and skills. What are you good at that doesn't feel like work? Guillebeau suggests listing them out. Maybe you're great at organizing closets or teaching guitar online. Then match that to a market need. Who has money and a problem you can solve? He calls this the convergence. Passion plus skill plus market. Miss one, and it might fizzle. But hit all three, and you're golden. Take the example of a guy named Jonathan. He was a history buff who hated his office job. So he started Freedom in 50 States, a website ranking states by personal freedom. It started as a blog, but people loved the data. Now he sells premium reports and consulting. His startup cost? Basically nothing, just time on his computer. And he works from home, traveling when he wants. This is making me realize how many opportunities hide in plain sight. We often overlook our own expertise because it feels too ordinary. But here's where it gets real. Not every idea works right away. The book stresses testing quickly and cheaply. Don't spend months planning. Launch a minimum viable product. That's a fancy way of saying make something basic and see if people bite. One story is about a travel planner who offered custom itineraries for Europe. She posted on forums, charged $20 each. A few takers, some feedback, and she refined it. Now it's her full gig, with clients paying hundreds. The key? Iterate based on what customers say. If something flops, pivot fast, and always track your metrics. How many visitors? conversion rates, revenue per customer. Guillebeau shares templates for this. Simple spreadsheets to monitor progress. It's not rocket science, but it keeps you honest. What surprised me was how he emphasizes joy over just profit. If you're miserable, even big money won't satisfy. So pick paths that energize you. Let's explore the marketing angle because that's where a lot of people trip up. You don't need a huge budget for ads. Instead, focus on connections. Build an email list early. Share valuable content for free to attract the right crowd. One entrepreneur in the book runs a freedom business coaching others on escaping cubicles. He gives away podcasts and tips, then offers paid courses. His list grew organically because people shared it. Social proof matters too. Get testimonials from early customers. Use them on your site and price smartly. Start low to test, then raise as value proves out. A cookie business owner began at $5 a dozen. Demand grew, so she bumped to $8. Revenue doubled without extra marketing. This ties back to value. Charge what your solution is worth, not what it costs you to make. That's counterintuitive for beginners who undervalue themselves. Now, scaling without losing your soul. The book warns against growing too fast. Many of these businesses stay small on purpose. $100,000 a year beats a stressful $1 million if it means more time with family. But if you want to expand, outsource the boring parts. Hire virtual assistants for admin. Automate with tools like email software. A graphic designer profiled here went from solo to a team of freelancers. She still designs her favorites, but delegates the rest. Her income tripled, and she works fewer hours. The trick is systems. Document your processes so others can follow. And always ask, does this align with my freedom? If not, cut it. Challenges come up too. Legal stuff like registering your business or taxes. Guillebeau advises keeping it simple. Start as a sole proprietor if possible. Use free resources for contracts, and handle money wisely. Track every expense. Save for lean months. One cautionary tale is a blogger who ignored bookkeeping. Debts piled up, stress killed the joy. Don't let that happen. Protect your energy. Set boundaries like no work after 7 p.m. These micro businesses thrive on sustainability. Wrapping this up, the 100 or startup really boils down to empowerment. You don't need permission or piles of cash to start something meaningful. Pick your passion, find the overlap with what people need, and launch small. The stories show it's possible for anyone willing to experiment. Sarah with Spanx, Jonathan with his rankings, the dog treat baker, they all prove it. Value drives it all, leading to that freedom we crave. It's inspiring to see how ordinary skills turn into extraordinary lives. If you're sitting on an idea, this book might just nudge you to try. Thanks for listening. Catch you next time on Quick Reads Unpacked. Word count 1720.